This conference will now be recorded.
So, hi all, good morning. So, if you observe the last class, right? So, what we have discussed, so that is nothing but how to pass some parameters to the methods, right? So, let me repeat this concept and we can continue further. Okay. So, first of all, if you observe this syntax for creating a method, what is the basic syntax for creating a method here? If you observe syntax for creating a method. Okay, nothing but return type method name, right? Here we have already seen we're having some different types of return types here. So let us assume I'm creating a one method with return type as a void, nothing but void m1. So this is the way generally we're creating a method. So now if we want to pass some parameters to the methods, right? So here we can pass it based upon your requirement. Okay, so this is a way if you want to pass some parameters to the methods. Okay, this is the way if you want to pass some parameters to the respective methods, and it is completely based upon your requirement. Okay, so and try to create a class and try to create some variables, I mean instance variable and static variable, and try to create a methods as well. Okay, so just try to pass some parameters here. So let us assume I'm creating a class. So open braces and close braces. So int a is equal to 10. Int a is equal to 10. Static int b is equal to 20. And I'm creating a method void m1. I am passing two parameters here, int c and int d. Just I am printing something. If you want to print something in our Java programming, we are having a predefined statement called as system.out.println. So I'm printing some hello. So now I'm creating static method, some string s, also printing something here. That's all. So like this, so just I have created a method, and within that method even just I have created some members of a class. Only difference is if you observe this m1 and m2 method, just I am passing some parameters for that respective method, right? So now if you want to access, so generally how we are accessing, syntax for creating an object. So first of all, if you want to access members of a class, so we need to create an object. Okay, so how can we create an object here? Class name reference variable equal to new class name. Okay, class name Reference variable is equal to new class name, right? Here what is my class name? Third. Some reference variable, assume that maybe some test equal to new class name. Nothing but again third. That's all. Okay. So now here, how many contexts we're having? Two types of context. One is instance context and static context, right? So try to access that respect to context. So with creating an object of IC. IC means here instance context. So here, if you comes under instance context, right? So here instance context is again divided into two parts. One is instance variable, so that is reference variable dot variable name. Here variable name means instance variable, right? So here if you observe my reference variable which I have created for class node is test dot, what is my instance variable name if you observe? A. So instance method reference variable dot respect to method name. So my method name is m1. So now if you observe, so whenever I'm calling test dot m1, right? Test is a reference variable of which class? Class third. Within this class third, do we have m1 method or not? As we're having m1 method, how many parameters is expecting? First of all, it is expecting two parameters of type as an int, right? So try to pass two numeric values. So 30 and 40. Here, whatever the values in which you are passing, right? So this is the value of C and this is the value of D. So what is the value of C here? Nothing but 30 you have passed, that is the value of C. And what is the value of D? Here we have passed 40. 40 is the value of D. Okay. So case 2 is without creating an object of IC, I mean instance context. So can we access instance context without creating an object? Is answer is no. So yesterday even we have concluded the same point. So if you want to access instance context, okay, if you want to access instance context, compulsory we have to create an object. We don't have any alternative. Okay. So with creating an object of SC means static context. So one is static variable, that is reference variable dot respect to variable name. Here what is my reference variable here? Test. And what is my static variable name? B. And one more thing is the static method reference variable dot respect to method. Nothing but test dot m2. So here also same thing. Whenever I'm calling test dot m2, right? Test is a reference variable of which class here? Class third. So now within this class third, do we have m2 method or not? Yes, we're having m2 method. If you don't have, definitely we're going to get some compile time. But currently we're having m2 method. How many parameters is expecting? Is expecting two parameters. Of which type here? String. So try to pass two string values here from this m2 method. So something ABC, comma CD. So it also same thing. Whatever the values in which I have passed, that is the value of E, and this is the value of yes. Okay, and what is the last case? Without creating an object of SE. So can we access static contest without creating an object or not? As we can access here. So that is class name dot respect to variable name. Here what is my class name? Nothing but third dot B, right? And how can I access static method? Class name dot respect to method. Here what is my class name? Third dot, and my method name is, my static method name is M2. How many parameters it is expecting here? Two parameters, right? Of which type? String. Try to pass two string values, right? That's all. Okay, so this is the way how can you pass some parameters to the respective methods, whatever the methods, whether it is an instance method or a static method. Okay, so this is the concept in which I have discussed within the last class. Okay, so nothing but yesterday we discussed about how to create an object for a particular class and how to access the members of a class. So this is the same thing. Okay, creating an object and we are accessing the respective members of here third class. Okay, and after that how to pass some parameters to the method. This thing also we discussed on yesterday, right? So is the concept is fine? So if you're having any doubts or if somebody did not got the respective concept, let me know so that I can explain you one more time. Is it fine? Okay. So this one is very important. How to catch the respective written type. Okay. So try to concentrate more. Maybe it will be somewhat confusion for you as well. Okay. So what is the next one? How to catch the respect to written type, or how can we catch the respect to written type? Okay. So this is our today's concept. Okay. So before going for this concept, right? So generally, if you want to create a method, what is the basic syntax which I discussed? Basic syntax for creating a method. Basic syntax for creating a method. So that is return type and method, right? So now here, if you observe, here we're having some couple of return types. So return type, it can be a void, it can be a class, it can be interface, and even some, it can be some data types as well, right? So data types means nothing but int, string, these things comes under a data types, right? So now, if you observe, so just if you're going with return type as a void, so how we are creating? So nothing but void m1 something we're printing, right? System dot out dot println hello. So like this we're printing something, right? So now here instead of void, so let us go with some return type as a int m1 open braces and close braces. So here whenever I have defined some return type as a int, okay, first of all I have gone with return type as a data types. So if you observe return type as a data types, so what we're having here, data types. So here data types means we're having int, string, so like this, right? So now I'm going this return type as a data types. So in that I'm going with return type as an int, return type as an int. So here, I mean, whenever if you're calling this respective method, right? So what the JM is going to understand is after executing this method, I mean, whatever the logic in which written, in which we have written within this method, I mean, within this M1 method, so it is going to return a value of int. Okay, it is going to return a value of int. So compulsory here, whenever if you're mentioning some return types, I mean except void, if you're going for any other return type, it can be a class, it can be an interface, or it can be some data types as well. So within this method, so compulsory we need to provide a statement called as a return. Okay, within this method compulsory we need to provide a statement called as a return. So return before m1 method, which data type we have specified here, nothing but int. Before m1 method, which data type we have specified, nothing but int. So int can handle only numeric values. Okay, int can handle only numeric values, means so return some 100. Okay, after executing this respective logic, okay, so it is going to return a value of 100. Okay, after executing this respective method, it is going to return a data type as an int, and what is the value of int here, nothing but 100. So whenever if you are calling this respective method, even you can catch the respective return type, or even you can't. So for suppose I'm calling this method. Okay, just assume that some test dot. Okay, while calling this respective method, so if you want to catch the respective return type means you can catch it, or even if you don't want, you can uh, you can avoid as well. It depends. Okay, compulsory they will catch the respective return type. Okay, so
This conference will now be recorded.
okay, so now here if you observe it is nothing but we need to provide some return as an int value. Okay, so same concept. So just we need to create a class and we need to include this respective concept here. Okay, so try to create a class first of all. So I'm creating a class test.
This conference will now be recorded.
So now here, so if you observe this Spring Toolsuit project point of view, here we are I have done with some Spring Boot with Spring microservice as well. So we have developed some 3 to 4 modules which is independent of each other, which are isolated. Simply you can say that which are isolated. So microservice architecture. So I'm trying to implement. So 2 modules I have done. So 2 more modules are pending. Once if it is done, so I'm going to implement microservices architecture as well. So if you're interested, so we'll discuss this project on maybe some weekends. Okay. So now here try to define some variables. Int a is equal to 10 and static int b is equal to 20. So now here I'm taking some return type as a data types. In that int I'm going. Okay. So int some what we call my method name as a m1, and even I'm passing the parameters as well at a time. Int c, int I'm renting something. Hello. So here if you observe, I have taken return type as an int. Okay, before m1 method, what is the return type I have taken here? Nothing but int. So compulsory here. Uh, so compulsory here, we need to take a return statement. Okay, if you are not taking return statement, definitely you're going to get some compile time error. So this, whether we are getting some compile time error or not, so that thing will, whenever if you are going with practical, we will discuss. Okay, so we need to take return, and what is the data we have taken before m1 method? Nothing but int, right? So it is going to handle numeric value only, int some 100. So now same way I'm taking some static method as well. Static, I'm taking some return type as a string, m2 method. Here I'm passing some int e and string s. System dot out dot println I something. So return. So before m2 method, which data type I have taken? String, right? So return some string value, maybe some something. So like this. So like this. Okay. So now if you want to access, so you know already, so definitely we need to create an object, right? So try to create an object first of all. Basic syntax for creating an object. Class name, reference variable equal to new class name. Here what is my class name? My class name is test. So reference variable, so you can take it as in some not a, maybe some Hadoop equal to new class name. I think with new test. Okay. So here case one with creating an object of IC. Here IC means instance context. So if you observe instance context, right? So again, we're having it two types. One is instance variable, that is reference variable dot respect to variable name. Okay, reference variable dot respect to variable name. Okay, what is my reference variable here? I have taken Hadoop. And what is my instance variable name? If you observe clearly, A. So instance method reference variable dot respect to method name. Here, what is my reference variable here? I have taken Hadoop. And what is my instance method name? M1. So here, whenever I'm calling Hadoop.m1, right? First of all, Hadoop is a reference variable of which class? Nothing but class test. Now within this class test, do we have M1 method or not? Yes, we're having a M1 method, and it is expecting how many parameters here? Two parameters of type as an int. Means int can handle only numeric values, right? So try to pass two numeric values, maybe some 30 and 40. Okay. And before this M1 method, what is return type we're having? Nothing but return int. Before this M1 method, what is the type we're having here? Int. I want to catch this respect to int value. I want to catch this respect to return type, whatever the return type which I have defined. Here I have defined my return type as an int, nothing but I want to catch this respect to int value. Means here what is the int value here I have defined here? Nothing but return 100. This value I want to catch it. Okay. So first of all, if you want to catch any return type, not only int, if you want to catch any return type of any method. So here if you observe, before this M1 method, which return type I have defined? Nothing but int, right? Same return type, try to define int followed by some reference variable. Some AS is my variable name. So here what is the value of AS means? Nothing but 100. Okay, what is the value of AS means? Within this M1 method, after return type, whatever the value in which you are specifying, okay, whatever the value in which you are specifying, that is the value of AS. Okay, what is the value of AS within this M1 method, right? So after return statement, whatever the value in which you are specifying, that is the value of AS here. Here I have specified value as 100, that is the value of AS. That's it. This is the way how can you catch the respect to return type. Here my return type is an int if you go with M1 method. Okay. So anyway, case 2 you know already. Without creating an object of IC means instance context, right? Answer is no. Unable to access, right? So now with creating an object of SC means static context, right? So one is static variable, that is reference variable dot respect to variable. Here what is my reference variable name? Hadoop. And what is my static variable name? What is my static variable name? All of you. So my static variable name is nothing but B. Static method reference variable dot respect to method name. So all of you, what is the value of S1? What is the value of S1? What is the value of S1 here?
PST.
Yes, what about remaining students? Okay, so here why I'm asking is same concept we're implementing in MapReduce as well. Okay, so there definitely we need to catch some respect to written types. That is the reason I'm asking. Okay, so if somebody did not get it, please let me know. So without creating an object of, let's see. So that is class name dot respect to variable name. That's all. Okay. So here S2 value also same thing. Sorry, it's not Hadoop. S.m2. Okay. So this is the way. So if you want to catch the respect to written time. Okay. So I hope these concepts are fine. Is it fine, all of you? Okay. So now come back to this Hadoop, nothing but Hadoop installation.
So what about abstract legs and interface? Sure.
Tomorrow we will discuss. Sure. Sorry. Tomorrow we will discuss today's. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. So what we have done in installation point of view. Mhm. Okay, let me summarize some points. So in terms of this Hadoop installation, what we have discussed. Okay, so then we can go with further. After installation of Oracle VirtualBox, we need to go with some predefined commands or prerequisites for Hadoop installation. There are one is sudo apt-get update, which you know already. What is the importance of this command here? Updates the list of available packages under versions. And what is the second one? Sudo apt-get install openjdk-8-jdk. Nothing but for installation of Java, right? So we need to, after installation of Java, we need to set the environment variables for Java in .batchrc file, which is a predefined file. Okay, we are not creating any manually. It is a predefined file. Okay, so how can you open this batchrc file? Gedit /.batchrc. Okay, gedit /.batchrc. Fourth point, after opening of .batchrc file, we need to update with piece of code at the end of the file. At the end of the file, that is export java_home. So user think jvm slash install java 8.1.8.0 hyphen openjdk hyphen amd 64. So here 64 is nothing but it is your respective OS bit level. So if I'm using some Windows 10 64-bit means, so it is going to install as a 64. If you are using some 32 means, so it is going to install as a AMD 32-bit. Okay. Export path, just by defining a path variable as well, means we are telling to the operating system, so please take this Java libraries from this respective path. Okay, Java home /bin. Here if you observe the Java home, so this is the respective Java home what we are having. So and after that, within this Java home we're having some couple of folders, so go with this respective folder. So where it is going to recognize all the respective libraries of Java. Okay, so here we have discussed node point as well, I hope. So if we want to know where exactly Java is installed, we are having a predefined command called as update -java -alternatives -l. So if you want to know, if you observe the second step, so after installation of Java, so that is sudo space apt hyphen get space install space openjdk hyphen 8 hyphen jdk, right? So if you want to know where exactly Java is installed, otherwise if you want to know default location of Java, where it is exactly installed, so then we need to go with the one more predefined command called as update hyphen Java hyphen alternative space hyphen l. So once you type this respective command, so it is going to tell the respective path in which Java is installed. Okay. So just open the terminal. Okay, so if you observe update, you already installed Java, right? So update Java alternatives L. So this is the default path in which Java is installed, or this is the default location, you can say that. Okay, so if you want to know Java version, so Java space hyphen version. So this is the respective version in which we have currently. Okay, 1.8.0. Okay. So now here, first of all, I want to install this Hadoop, okay, or I want to configure Hadoop in a some specific location. But suppose I want to configure this Hadoop in this respective path. So there is nothing but a slash user slash local. I want to create. Uh, I want to install. Otherwise, I want to install Hadoop software in this respective location. Okay. So first of all, if you observe here, so if I right click in this respective path, okay, so here new folder is, if you observe the option of new folder is disabled, right? I mean we're unable to create a new folder here. Okay, so first of all we need to get some predefined, I mean not predefined here, we need to get first thing is we need to create a folder, means first of all we need to enable the new folder option. Okay, how to enable this new folder option? So we need to go with some set of comments. So after executing that respective set of comments, so it is going to enable the new folder option. Okay, so what are the respective comments? So let us discuss on that. Before going for Hadoop installation, first of all I need to configure or install in a specific location, that is slash user slash local. So in this respective location I want to configure Hadoop. Okay, so but we know already, so nothing but we're unable to create, first of all we're unable to create a new folder. Okay, if you are not able to create means, so definitely we're unable to copy a specific folder, or if you want to create a new folder, okay, so where I need to store this Hadoop software, so this type of basic things also we're unable to do it. Okay, so here, but we don't have permissions or accesses for the above path. In order to get permissions, please execute the below predefined command, that is sudo ch1, nothing but ownership, okay, hyphen or So username space group name. Okay, so most of the times, so what are the username we're having? It is same name as a group name also. So here if you observe, my username is Hadoop Apache, right? So group name also Hadoop Apache only. But still, if you want to know, what we call, if you want to know this username and group name, so simply we can go to terminal here. So if you want to know this username and what we call group name, so just type ll. So what is ll here? So nothing but it is going to list of all directories, all the respective folders of this, whatever the things in which we are having within this respective user. Okay, so if you observe, if you observe here, so here we're having some desktop documents, downloads, music, something is there, right? So if you want to know this, all this information in command level in Linux operating system point of view, here we're having a predefined command called as ll. Just it is going to list of all the directories, all the subfolders of this respective username. I mean Hadoop Apache. So now if you observe here, okay, this is nothing but what we can say that this is username and this is nothing but a group name. So it is always 99%, most of the time it will be a same name. I mean whatever the username we're having is same as a group name as well. Okay, there is nothing change on this group name. Okay, so now if we want to know username and group name for a specific user in Ubuntu, open terminal and type a predefined command called as ll. So now if you want to know username and group name for a specific user in Ubuntu, so just try to open a terminal and type a predefined command called as ll. Okay, so that thing means simply we can say that Hadoop. If you observe my terminal point of view, Apache at the rate of Hadoop Apache, right? Colon. I think it will be like this. Yes. After that, here we need to type ll. Okay. So what is ll importance? So it is going to list all the directories and subfolders for a specific user. That is, here my user is Hadoop Apache. So now within this user, so if you want to know all the directories and the respective subfolders, so just need to type a ll command. Okay. So now try to execute this command here. Sudo ch1 -r. So what is my username? Hadoop Apache, and again Hadoop Apache. So which location you want to get a, in which location we want to create a new folder and which we are unable to create it, that is nothing but user slash. So in this location, I want to create a new folder, right? But we are unable to create. That is the reason we execute in this respect to command. Okay. So try to execute this command now. Sudo ch1 -r Hadoop Apache slash user slash local. Okay, sudo ch1 space -r space Hadoop Apache colon Hadoop Apache space slash user local. Okay. So now before executing this command, so I should try to process it once again. Here we are able to create it, right? Try to execute this command now. Provide a password. So here, now it is unable if you observe new folder. Okay, if you observe the new folder, it is enabled. Okay. So is it fine till now?
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. After getting ownership for a specific folder, okay. So now after executing the above command, so definitely we're able to create a new folder, right? What are the folder name you want? Now for a specific folder, okay, in Linux operating system point of view, right? We need to get some permissions as well. Okay, so there is nothing but if you want to create a folder or a directory, we need to get permissions, that is read, write, execute. Okay, these are the permissions in Linux operating system point of view. So after creating a folder, so as a user we need to define for that respective specific folder, so which permissions we need to give. Okay, for suppose I have created some my folder name as some Hadoop ecosystems. So for this folder, right, so whether so I can read something or otherwise I want to write something, otherwise if you want to execute that respective folder, so this folder level permissions also we need to define as an end user. Okay, so for this we also we're having a predefined command here. Sudo ch1. not ch1, chmod 37/user/local. Okay, so why why we are mentioning these 3 7s? So for suppose if I mention some 755, okay, so then what is going to happen? So these things we'll discuss once again. But if you want to give for a specific folder with all the permissions, I mean read, write, and execute, so then we need to mention 3 7s. Okay, so otherwise, if you observe here, permissions, right? Owner, me, access. So create and delete files, right? So this is nothing but a permissions. So for a specific folder, what are the folder which are creating? We want to give some permissions for a specific folder. So this is a respect to predefined command in which we are having. Okay. So now I want to give full permissions. What are the folder in which I want to create within this path. So within this user local, I want to create some folder with the name as Hadoop ecosystems. For this Hadoop, I mean for this respective folder, I want to give full permissions. That is the reason I have mentioned some. I have mentioned as 3 7s. So try to execute this command now. Sudo chmod 3 7/user/local. Okay, sudo space chmod space 3 7 space /user/. It is executed successfully. So after executing the above command, so now if we want to create a directory, we are having a predefined command called as, what is the predefined command here? Mkdir. What is the predefined command? Mkdir, nothing but make a directory. Mkdir means make a directory here. Okay, so we can type it as like this: mkdir /user/local /Hadoop echo systems. So like this. So nothing but after executing this command, right? What is going to happen? So within this user local, right? So it is going to create one directory called as an Hadoop ecosystems. So first of all, we are not able to create any new folder. So then that is the reason we execute this respective command. Okay, after executing this command, so what are the folder or what are the directory in which I need to create within this specified location? So I want to get some, I want to give some full, I want to get some full permissions for this respective directory. That is the reason I'm going with this read, write, execute. So in order to achieve that, so we're having this command here. Now whatever the folder in which you're creating, which is inside of this user local, so we are going to get as a full permissions whatever the folder in which you are creating or whatever the directory. So here I am creating a directory with named as Hadoop-ecosystems. Okay, with all permissions. There is nothing but read, write, and execute. So now if you execute this predefined command, so mkdir, right, /user/local Hadoop-echo systems. Okay, so now if you observe, see here, we're having a folder with name as Hadoop-ecosystems. Otherwise, we're having a directory with name as Hadoop-ecosystems. Okay, so is it fine till now? All of you.
This conference will now be recorded.
Next step, we need to download Hadoop software from Google. So there is nothing but just try to go to Google and type some Hadoop space 2.7.0. Okay, so we're going with 2.x version. So go to google.com and type as Hadoop Hadoop 2.7.0. Okay, so otherwise you can specify some download option, download keyword as well. So like this. Okay, so out of this, so we need to download this tar.gz file. What is the file? So you need to download nothing but Hadoop 2.7.7.0 file. So this file we need to download. So once you will click on this one, so it will be download automatically. Okay, so this is the URL. So those who want to download, you can just, I'm typing in chat. Hadoop 2.7.0 dot. So this is the file. Okay, just click on it. It will download. Okay.